As we all know, the F-16 Falcon and the trading update is already out, and there has been a lot of people who have actually been asking on what is better, the F-16 Falcon or the F-35, and there is a lot of questions about it, and some people seem to be saying that our Game Pass plane is no longer the best dogfighter, and in today's video, guys, I'll be finding out which one of these is actually the best and which of these statements has been true, and I'll be going through a lot of categories to actually define which plane is better. And so yeah, that is all I have for you guys, so let's actually jump right into the video, because this is gonna be quite long of a ride. So anyway, let's actually get to it. Alrighty, so the first test which we're actually gonna be conveying is to see how much health both of these have in terms of how tanky they are and etc. So the first plane which I'm actually gonna be testing is going to be the F-16 Falcon, which at the moment it seems to be having 2 bars out of health only, which is actually so spawning in the F-16. What I'm gonna be doing in order to actually find out the health of both of these is to see how many shots it can tank from the Stinger. So let me just shoot one Stinger shot, and I'm gonna be trying to fire the shots at exactly the same area. So one of the Stinger shots was able to do exactly 26% to the F-16 Falcon, and now I'm gonna try to aim for exactly the same area, which is gonna be roughly around the belly. Alright, so this is our second shot. Let's aim for the third one. This is going to be 3 shots. And I believe it's gonna take around 4 shots to be able to kill the F-16 Falcon. Let me just fire the last one to be crystal clear and crystal sure. And yep, it's going to take around 4 shots. And I was shooting exactly at the same area, which was the belly, because if you, let's say, you shoot at the front and etc., I believe it does different damage. So I'm trying to just shoot at the same place to make sure that everything is just crystal quality. Okay, so now let's spot in the F-35 right here, which has 3 bars out of health, and I'm gonna try to aim for exactly the same area, which is going to be around the belly, and this is going to be our first shot to the F-35. Let's take a look. It is going to be leaving the F-35 at exactly 81, meaning that it did around 19 damage, and that to me also shows that it's doing around 5 less to the F-35 than it was doing to, of course, the previous plane, which was the F-16 Falcon. So let's fire another one. This is going to be our second shot. Let's go for the third one. Alright, and it seems to be leaving the F-35 around half health after that. So let me just go for the fourth one. And I guess you guys can already do the maths for sure. I believe it's going to take around 6 shots from the Stinger in order to be able to kill the F-35, which actually seems to be a lot, and it's almost double to the amount that the F-16 Falcon was able to tank. And also another thing we have to take into consideration, yes, it did take 6, and the F-35 is also able to tank stuff like, of course, the tank cannon shell from pretty much every single tank in the game, including the Mouse and the Abrams X. So a clear winner of this is going to be the F-35 in terms of health. It's a definitive winner. And by the way, some bonus information which I also have for you guys is just to ensure that you guys clearly know the health is going to be the F-35 Lightning is going to clearly have a huge advantage of 1,200 health. And of course, the F-16 Falcon, which is the new plane. Let me just go bring it here. And let's take a look on how much health the F-16 is going to have. It's going to be around 800, so it seems to me that it's around 400 smaller than the F-35. So the next thing which we're going to be testing here is going to be the maximum speed that both of these vehicles can go to. I'm going to start with the F-16 Falcon, which is currently based on around 3 bars of speed, and same goes for, of course, the F-35. So let's spawn it in. Alright, and let's actually start flying it, and I can already see that the acceleration rate of this is going to be a little bit slower than to a few planes, so let's just go in a fully straight line, as that gives us the best quality of how fast it can maximum go to. And as it shows to me, this plane seems to be having a max speed of 313, which is actually really good compared to other planes. I believe it's gonna rival stuff like the F-14 Tomcat, I believe that is, because the F-14 Tomcat has always been around the second fastest plane in the game. Alright, so now let's spawn in the F-35. Let's go take a look on how fast it's going to be able to go. And I can already see that the acceleration rate is way greater than the F-16 Falcon right here. Alright, so let's also place it. Let's go a little high and then place it all in a straight line to ensure that I can get the highest speed. And the F-35 seems to be peaking the speed of 336, which is actually also insanely high. And I am actually surprised that the F-16 Falcon seems to be somewhat close to it. However, the F-35 is also going to be winning significantly in the category of speed, just for one reason. What is this weird way of actually ejecting? Yeah, the F-35 seems to be also winning this category only for one little reason, by the fact that it's around 20 miles per hour faster than what the F-16 Falcon would be. Alright, so now it is actually going to be the time of testing on how much the F-35 would be doing in one missile, and as this test subject I will be using another F-35, since I was actually originally planning to be using the Hind, but now I'm going to use the F-35. So I'm just going to be firing one lock-on missile at the F-35, and now let's go test the damage really quickly on how much it is exactly going to do. It is going to be just one lock-on missile, so here we have it. It is going to leave the F-35 at 72%, so one hit to the front will be able to do around 28%. Okay, so now we're gonna be essentially doing exactly the same thing, and I'm going to be testing on how much the F-16 Falcon will be doing to F-35 with one lock-on missile. So here we have it. This is just one missile, and now let's just jump right inside of the F-35, and the exact missile damage will be, oh, it's 20, so looks like the damage is significantly higher of course, by the F-35, meaning that the F-16 Falcon will be doing 8% less damage from the lock-on missiles than what the F-35 is actually doing, which is actually significantly lower. Okay, so now next up, what I'm exactly going to be testing is how much of this actual autocannon, how long it's going to take in order to be able to destroy the mouse. So let me just move this really quick into the mouse so I can actually convey this test, and the mouse is currently placed at around 100%. So now I'm going to turn off the automatic landing gears, and I'm going to start attacking the mouse right now. Alright, so this is the first set of shots, which is actually seem to be doing a lot of damage. And this was the second set, and I believe there was about 3/4 of the autocannon used up, so I believe it's gonna take around 1.75 of the autocannon roughly in order to be able to destroy the mouse. So that's almost 2, but just about not. Okay, so now next up I'm gonna be testing the F-35 on how much damage it's gonna be doing to, of course, the mouse, and how long it's gonna take to kill it. So now let's give it a try. Okay, I don't know why, but I just got shot for no reason. Anyway, here we go. Let's start shooting it. So what I was able to already see from this test is the fact that the F-35, from of course the first amount of shots, was able to do a little bit less damage, so now I'm gonna give it another try. Here we go, the mouse was destroyed, and it seems to me that the F-35 and the F-16 Falcon seem to be just as strong in terms of destroying the mouse, because the, of course, the F-35 was left out at around 3/4 finish in terms of shooting the autocannon, if you guys get what I mean. So in terms of this category and how powerful both of these autocannons are, the F-35 seems to be doing just the same as the F-16 Falcon, which to me seems to be a quite weird, since a Game Pass plane seems to be doing exactly the same damage as a free-to-play plane that was just added. By the way, I would really like to give a huge shout out to Noxus for helping me out in this video in terms of course, damage tests and etc. So here's a screenshot on the screen right now. He has asked me to promote his clan/factions. If you guys want to join and help him out, he really does deserve it. Make sure to join his faction. Here is a screenshot on the screen right now. And yeah. Alright, so the last deciding category which I'm gonna be having here is going to be the maneuverability of each of these planes to see which one is going to be a better dogfighter. I do not have a person helping me for this last one because I simply don't think I need it, so I'm gonna be quite kind of showing you guys how maneuverable both of these planes are. So let's take a look at what the F-16 can do. I'm just gonna try to do some very good and sharp turns. Alright. Yeah, this F-16 seems to be moving much differently and much quicker than what I've been seeing the F-35 move, which is actually kind of insane. Just have a look at how insane this turning is, and you guys might not realize, but this turning is actually kind of insane compared to a lot of other planes in this game. And one thing I do find a little bit surprising, which is kind of an off-topic thing to talk about, the stuff like the Mustang is also able to go upside down, which I just find a little bit funny because I don't think it makes any sense. Anyway, let's eject from the F-16 Falcon because I just tried to show you guys a few of cool maneuvers. And what is that lag? Holy crap. And it's not even my PC, it's literally the game's lag as a whole. And now I'm just flying. Okay, that was crazy. Alright, so next I'm gonna be showing you guys the maneuverability of the F-35. Alright, so now let's spawn in the F-35 to also show you guys exactly the same thing for this. I personally believe the F-16 Falcon is already much more maneuverable, but let's actually take a look and test this really quick. Alright, so the F-35 seems to be able to go into the air and be much more controlled than the F-16 Falcon here. As you guys can see, the F-35 is able to do some insane maneuvers compared to what the F-16 Falcon was able to do. And all I'm doing is basically switching WASD, not even that much. Just have a look at this. Look how fast it's able to actually go upside down and then go all the way to the other side. This is kind of insane to me. Well, if you guys, let me know in the comment section on what you think is going to be the clear winner here, because personally, I believe it to be the F-35 in terms of the maneuverability. And the reason why I say this is because look how sharp it is able to turn and how sharply it's overall able to do everything. Like, it immediately does what you guys want it to do. And to how it seems to me, guys, the F-35 is going to be a clear winner in terms of how fast it can outmaneuver other vehicles. And to me it seems that I was thinking previously that the F-16 Falcon would be the winner in terms of dogfights. However, I believe both in being able to take out ground vehicles and in dogfights, the F-35 is going to pretty much win almost every single category. Anyway, this video actually came as a huge surprise to me personally. I am like fully surprised on how good the F-35 truly is after these changes, and I believe the F-35 might now be the best vehicle in the game just because of how easy it's gonna be able to dodge its opponents. One thing I of course have to take into consideration is the fact that you guys will have to slow down a little bit if you want to do a good dodge, because that's kind of a thing which I noticed with planes, which could also give an opening to tanks to shoot you out of the sky. But again, I feel like if you're a good pilot, then you're easily gonna be able to avoid these shots. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. And so I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think I made any mistakes, if you think I could have done something better, and etc. But really, the F-35 is way better than the F-16 Falcon, and that question has now been answered.